Hey, good morning, Sales Director Corinne Kresge. All right, so the last 2 weeks we've been talking about reasons why there may be a gap between where you are and where you want to be in your Mary Kay business. So there's always reasons. And I think that sometimes as entrepreneurs, we just think the reasons are mysterious, or we just don't have an idea why we aren't there yet, that maybe someday we will be, when in fact there really are just 4 identifying factors that come into play when there's a gap. And so that's what we've been talking about. So if you remember on the first Monday that I introduced this, which comes from a training I heard from National Sales Director Julia Burnett, the first one was that you just are not in front of enough people. Like, the goal that you have set before yourself requires you to see X amount of people, whether that's for faces, for building skincare customers, whether that's hostesses, parties, whether that's career chats, like whatever it is, your numbers are just not at the level that would support the averages, because this is a mathematical business, not mystical, it's not magical, it doesn't just happen for some and not the others, and it's unknown. Like, we follow averages in Mary Kay. And so that could be one of the reasons why. Then last week we discussed that maybe you are seeing enough people, maybe you are in front of the people, but you're not in front of the right people. And the right people being people who value you and value the Mary Kay product brand. Like, if you're consistently coming up against people who are using, Kirkland brand hair and body wash as their cleanser in the shower, and they don't see anything wrong with that, and they're perfectly satisfied with the results, and they look in the mirror and they don't see any reason to change anything, or they're buying their color cosmetics at Dollar Tree, it's going to be could be a difficult sell to upgrade them to Mary Kay, when they haven't even upgraded to Wet n Wild yet from Walmart, right? So it could just be the wrong audience. And so do you need to go up in years, down in years? Do you need to tap into a new group of friends, a new group of connections? Do you need to do some networking, some leads events, some booth events, just to get into a new sphere, a new circle of people? Because it could be the people. The third thing we're going to talk about today is going to be skill level. And before you just kind of like throw in the towel, like, I just cannot take a master's course, and write a dissertation at the end in order to feel skilled in Mary Kay. Let's break down what kind of skills we're talking about. It's mostly just booking appointments, coaching the appointments to hold, and doing interviews, like career shares, chats, whatever you want to call it. Like, that's really the skill. We don't have to get super, super elaborate. And most people, if you just honed in on those couple of things, few things, you would go so much further in your business. So if you're consistently, for instance, trying to get guests to come to events, which I consider bookings, also booking guests, booking individual facials, booking guests to come to your director's virtual events, online events, any of that. And your way of inviting guests is posting in your Facebook group and tagging, followers or at everyone, or that is a skill that should be increased. That is a skill that needs some work. That's not the way to invite people to get them to feel special enough to attend, to do follow-up, that's just not. But is it a way? Yes. Could it be effective? Yeah. Are you going to build a successful business with that skill level of just posting and tagging everyone? Probably not. So, what could you do instead? You could hone in and get really good at masterful connections, individual connections, invites. I was thinking of you for this event coming up because I know how much you love color cosmetics. I know how you're always in on the latest trends. I'd love to get your feedback about a Mary Kay event I'll be attending this week with my director launching a new mascara. Like there's so many ways that you can connect through inviting. And the same thing goes with connect with booking hostesses. And, I don't want to get into a whole long, 30-minute conversation today, but there's so many resources and tools available in our 61-year history with Mary Kay on the correct booking approach, because that is the way our business was and has operated for 61 years, that we really can't just pretend we don't know where to go to get resources. And if you're like, no, Corinne, I really don't know where to go, start with, if you're a consultant, start with your director. If you're a director, you already know, because that's how you got to your position. So if you're a consultant, check with your director. And your director will make sure that the resources are available to you. All of this to say that there's just 4 reasons why you may not be achieving your goals. And we don't want to just sit and let months, week after week, and month after month go by where we're not achieving. And also at the same time, just be in this mindset where it's like, well, I don't know why. One day, perhaps one day, no, today can be the one day. We can identify, do any of the 3 we've discussed so far apply to you? No shame, not at all. It's just a way to identify, well, what do I need? What could best serve me today? If I learned one new booking skill today, what would that be? What would I need to know to get a booking, to get a guest, to get my first hostess, or to get the hostess that I've been trying to get? Because you can make progress in an instant in Mary Kay, and that's one of the things I love. These things do not take forever. You could get one hot booking script today and get yourself completely booked up and have January turn around completely different for you. That's the beauty of this business. Tune in next Monday for the last and the final reason, and then we'll move on to something else. All right. God bless everyone.